That you guys are here. My name is Melissa Brower, and I'm with Ladybug Connections, and I help organize, facilitate, and promote the classes here at Country Life. So we're really excited. And we don't actually have anyone representing from Country Life today, so I'm here. So you guys know about Country Life. You shop here a lot, and there's a catalog on your seat, so that's got some of the new things coming up there. And of course, Country Life's been in business since 1960s, so that's pretty cool. And yeah. So we're really excited to be partnering with Jill Keb today with Plant Life Journey. And she actually has a lot. She'll talk a little bit about her retreats, but she usually will bring her retreats in to shop at Country Life and show them all of the whole plant-based things that we have here too. So it's pretty cool. So we're excited that Jill is here to teach us some new cooking things. So
thank you, Melissa.
Yeah, you're welcome. So we're going to go ahead.
Yay. Okay, well,
and I'm going to get my video going here.
All right, okay. I'll wait till you say it. Okay, all right. Welcome. Thank you again. It's an honor and a privilege to be here in front of you and to share my enthusiasm and excitement for fruits and vegetables. That's the main thing I get excited about is fruits and vegetables. And my life has been transformed by eating more along the lines of these things, okay? I believe that this is God food, you know, what God made, and the sun and the soil working together to make these beautiful plants, and there's an abundance. And if you look around in a lot of the grocery stores and places we go, there's a lot of packaged foods and a lot of things that are just tempting that I don't almost consider food anymore at this point. I'm 60 years old, no medication. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my story and how I've sort of gone from binge eating food addict to running whole food plant-based retreats with my best friend in South Haven, Michigan. It's been a ride. It's been a ride. So just to give you a quick overview of our retreats, and we did put a little something on your chairs related to the retreats that we do. We run about 6 to 8 of those a year. Some are 4 days. You can come on a weekend. We do have men. We get a lot of people coming solo. We do get children sometimes. Mostly we get retired people, but we get all ages. 10 person is our max, and our guests are doing 2 cooking classes a day. So they are hands-on learning how to make healthier foods. And they love it. We give them a big recipe book, which I do have with me if you want to look at, the guest menu. I can show you after the class. There's about 70 recipes in there, all been tried and true. And we make a lot of them during the retreat. So we do 6 days or 4 days. So this is going to be a pretty casual class. I welcome questions all along, anytime. If you just raise your hand a little bit, I'll know to reach out and call on you. What else? South Haven is a really fun town too, so our guests enjoy that. All right, I'm going to start with something that needs a little attention, and that is the lemon poppy seed chia pudding. So it's on your second page. This is something we make at retreats, and we serve it for breakfast with the blueberry compote, which I'll also be talking about. And it's beautiful, and it's something that you can make up ahead of time and have in your fridge. And so let's get started with that. We need 4 tablespoons chia seeds. I got the chia seeds right across the way there. Is anybody using chia seeds? They're so high in omegas. And they really are amazing little things. Sometimes I put them in our smoothies. Okay, 4 tablespoons of that. I think we need a tablespoon of the blue poppy seeds. Oh, thank you. Can someone verify? Is that right? Oh, 1 tablespoon. Thank you. Thank you. See, look at that. You're on top of it. You're reading. Okay. 1 tablespoon of those. Okay, what's next? Someone read me the next thing. What does it say?
1.5 tablespoon of maple syrup.
All right, what's after that? Because that one's going to gum up my little doodad.
1.5 tablespoon of lemon juice.
All right, let's do the lemon juice first. I'm going to show you my zester. I know I'm going to need some zest in here, and I think it says zest of 1 lemon optional. I love kitchen gadgets, and this is just a fun kitchen gadget. You can, zest a number of different ways. They have those long, but the way, I'll show you. This is just like, it's got the little grater thing here, but it keeps all the zest right inside of it. This is one of my favorite tools. I bought this for my daughter because I just think it's so fun. Now, Kathy, my business partner and dear friend, she doesn't like this. I don't know why. It's funny, but everybody has their jam. She likes the long ones that you just, do that, which most people have. And I think this was like $5. You can find it on Amazon. But I like it that it keeps it all contained, and then you pull this out, and there's all the sometimes it's just right there. So very convenient. All right, throwing that in. All right, and then lemon juice, I did have some pre-measured. How much was that again that we want?
1.5 tablespoons.
Thank you. We're just going to guesstimate for the half. Alrighty. And then we need some plant milk. Oh, pure maple syrup, was that 1.5?
Yes.
Okay. Now the reason why I have to start this early is because you're going to see this is like a fun little experiment of how these chia seeds expand. And then we're going to do 2 cups of plant milk. Is that right? Oh, okay, thank you. See, y'all are paying attention. Is there vanilla in this one?
Yes.
Okay, how much vanilla?
1 teaspoon.
Let me just wipe this down so it's not dripping everywhere. 1 teaspoon. And I got this lovely vanilla also across the way. This is Simply Organic Pure Vanilla from Madagascar. 1 teaspoon. Okay. You could probably make it without the vanilla if you don't have it, but maybe use a little extra maple syrup. Okay, so 1 cup of plant milk. We usually use soy, but any kind of plant milk. At our retreats, we specialize in plant-based, whole food plant-based cooking. I don't know if I mentioned that before. And we welcome people who eat meat. My husband eats meat, and everyone in my family, pretty much, except my daughter. So it's, oh, that's a little too much. Anyway, a lot of people come to our retreats because someone in the family is becoming vegetarian or vegan and they want to be able to cook for them, or they might have like, a diagnosis that they're looking to improve by eating more fruits and vegetable based items, more, legumes, more quinoa or red lentils and all the good things, and heart disease. There's so many different things. So by making this in a jar, you just do this, and you're just not going to believe how this is going to change. So we're going to leave that there, and every so often we'll just shake it up a little bit. I think the recipe might say just like wait 10, 15 minutes and then whisk and stir again. But I do like using these mason jars, and I buy the lids, the plastic lids, because I just keep reusing those jars. So I haven't figured out what to do with the metal lids that you get.
I have a quick question.
Sure.
Where did you get the pretty green lid? Most of them are like gray or white.
Amazon, I think. Yeah. Just look for, sometimes they have pastels and they give you, I know, I like those too. They're fun. I'm going to tell you a little bit about, you know what, I'll tell you what, I'll get into the salad first so y'all have a sample, because I know you want to eat something, right? Because that'll be really good. Okay, we'll do that first, and then I'll talk about a little bit more about the excitement of fruits and vegetables. Okay, this is a Napa, so we're back on page 1, Napa cabbage salad with an Asian style dressing. So we're going to do the salad first. One of the salads we make at retreat, and it's my favorite salad. I love it. Napa cabbage really can last a little bit longer than a lot of the cabbage, the lettuces that you might buy. It's got a longer shelf life in the fridge. You want to keep it in the fridge. And I think it has a very mild flavor. So it's got a nice crunch. And I'm just going to cut it. There's just a little bit of ginger on this knife. So I'm just going to cut it let's pretend this is also like a romaine, a head of romaine lettuce. Yes?
I just was wondering, I see that it has sesame seeds in it, and I'm deathly allergic to those.
Okay.
I don't know if you have to have them in there. Or,
Thank you. No, that was just a topping, and I appreciate you saying so.
and I was wondering then, I was wondering about this Asian style dressing, if that has any sesame stuff in it, like sesame oil or.
Nope. We're good.
Okay.
Okay. This is my sesame seed, and I'm going to put it somewhere, hitting it over here, which is make sure
Hi.
But for those of you not, it was just going to be it'll be a pretty topping for everybody that is not deathly allergic. That's rough. Okay, so I'm just going to throw some pre-chopped lettuce in there, the Napa cabbage. Look how pretty. And sometimes the leaves are a little bit more green. Sometimes they're more white. But it's, let's see, for this many people, we'll add a little bit more. I just don't want to add too much because of the dressing. I want to make sure everything is dressed well. So, and then we have a lot of little toppings. So I think that'll be good. Okay, so we got that. I would, chop the rest of that up and then just put it in a baggie with a wet paper towel. The red cabbage, I wanted to show you that I was going to try cutting it the way they showed me on YouTube when I looked last night. It's okay, let's try this. Cutting it in half first, and then cut out the little core. So we'll cut out the core kind of on a triangle, going on an angle, and see how that just kind of helps. because most people aren't into the core. And then we can go down again into making it quarters. And then from here, you know, we can just get some nice thin slices. Now it's really nice when you have a sharp knife. And I really encourage people to invest in a sharp knife. You can also take the cabbage and run that through your food processor. This blade, if you have a food processor with the 3 blades, the S blade, the slicing blade or the grating blade, this will give you real teeny tiny, but I run it through the slicing blade and that kind of is better. Any questions about that? Does everybody have a food processor? Yes, no, no, no? Okay, well, it's my favorite kitchen tool. I didn't bring it today. I don't always use it, but I do recommend people consider buying a food processor because there's so many ways in which it makes your life a little easier in the kitchen. And you men will probably understand that the right tool for the right job helps make things easier. And that's what I say about the kitchen as well. Some of the right tools in your kitchen is going to help you make the job a little bit easier and maybe more fun. And I think you can get a small food processor for like, $70 or, they're not super expensive. So let me just cut up a little bit more of this.
What is tamari?
Tamari is like a soy sauce, but it's aged longer and it has no gluten. And I don't remember like all the other little details regarding the difference.
I just didn't
But
know if it might have sesame and I'm always afraid of Asian food.
no.
Sesame and a lot of things, so I
Okay.
just wanted to know about that.
No.
Is there tamari in it? Or did you make it with the soy for the breads?
I have Bragg's today, but the one that's pre-made was made with tamari. And I'm almost positive there's nothing soy or sesame related. I've been using it forever. So it's just like soy sauce. It's just very salty. And it's with soybeans. And Melissa will look it up on her phone. We want to make sure you're safe. Yes, 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 yes. All right, so let's move over to this dressing so we can get this like sort of demoed so you guys can eat something. All right, so I took the peanut butter out of the little container because this is the time-consuming part with peanut butter. It's like hard to stir, But this brand from over there on the other side is nice and creamy, and it was easy to stir. It wasn't like a battle. That's this brand here that they have. So that was good. All right. Okay, 1/4 of a cup of pure maple syrup. And let's do the Bragg's first. And also, if you're more comfortable, you can just eat this one, which it says right on here, soy. Vegetable protein from soybeans and water are the ingredients. Yeah. Okay, 1/4 of a cup of that, and 1/4 of a cup of pure maple syrup. Okay, 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. I don't have the rice vinegar today. I'm using apple cider vinegar. I prefer the rice vinegar in this recipe if you have it, but there we go. This will work. Apple cider vinegar. And then we just need a little bit of seasoning. See, this is such a simple recipe. You are going to want to make this one. I am promising you. This is called Asian style dressing, but I think we call it instant peanut dressing sometimes. It's very fast. So 1/4 of a cup of cayenne, optional. Is anyone like really super sensitive to spice? Okay, I'm going to use like just a baby amount. Like,
So did you use the peanut butter? I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention, so I was looking at something else. Is it peanut butter or is it
peanut butter.
okay.
Yeah.
I'm sensitive to almonds. I don't get really super, I just don't feel good if I eat almonds.
Okay,
I can eat a little bit, but I don't want to eat like a bunch of almond butter. So
gotcha. Okay.
it's kind of a pain. I don't like that. It makes me kind of mad, but I can't do anything about it.
Yeah, people have these things going on. Ginger is what I just added there, a little ginger powder. And they sell that in the bulk section over on the other side. And then we're just going to whisk this around. If you did make it in a jar, like I did with the let's go ahead and shake this up again. See how like it's getting, there's a couple that didn't really get incorporated down there. Yeah, it's getting thick already. Well, those might just be like kind of, yeah, I could have stirred it a little bit or like go back faster, like 2 minutes later, go back in and shake it up. All right, well, you get the idea. This just doesn't take very long to whisk it right up. Here we go. All right, so we've done with that. Super, super easy. I do think that you might want to add a little bit of water sometimes because or let's say if you put it in the refrigerator and the next day it's a little thick, for salads, you can add a little bit of water. And we're going to dress the lettuce leaves with about half the dressing. And we'll save the other half for putting on top. Well, I have a heavy hand when it comes to dressing. Not everyone's different, right? I like dressing too. But anyway, we want to get all the leaves coated here. And then the way we do it at retreat, which is what I'm going to show you today, is we lay out all the bowls and then make every bowl look real pretty with the toppings, and then we drizzle the last amount of dressing, on top. So this looks pretty good. But there's a few people. I think I'm going to add a little bit more of this. I want to make sure everybody gets a good amount. I think I can throw, all right, a little bit more. Okay, Melissa, I'm going to use your help to put these into bowls. Too bad we don't have an extra table, but let me make some room. Okay, so let's see, however many people we are, just put the bowls out, and then we're going to, and then put them in however many people we have, and then we'll put the toppings on. Okay, so I want to talk to you about some of the toppings. I did some radishes, and I sliced those with another fun kitchen gadget that I like, which is a little wavy slicer. So you can make little wavies with other things. You can use this for cucumbers and zucchini and everything. I have a bigger one at home too for melons, and I really like that. And then I want to talk about, yes, thank you, carrots. So again, I usually, before retreat, I'll do many carrots into the food processor with this blade to have the carrots pre-shredded, and then you can use those all week. They last nice in the refrigerator in a Tupperware, and you add those to different things. But this other option is to use just your peeler. Is that what people mostly do? Is that what y'all do for your salads? So you can either go like this and get little slices, or you can make more longer ribbons. And it's just a variety of different ways to do different things. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay. And then we're going to put, do you need more room? Okay. Let's.
usually use the knuckle buster. You know what that
Are your
is,
hands
right?
clean? Can you just? No. What's that?
Yeah, it's like the square things with the handle, and you go like this, and you gotta be careful so you don't scrape your knuckles.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about? A grater?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I use that for carrots.
That's.
It's faster, but you just don't want to scrape your knuckles off.
Okay. Yes. Right. Anyone else use a method that they like for carrots that they would like to share? No? Old-fashioned knife? Do you like little julienne pieces? Okay, yeah, like little coins.
Yeah, we don't mind the big stuff.
For the salads. There's so many different ways to do it.
No,
Okay.
I'm gonna try the way you did it with the peeler. I like that.
Yeah, it's fun. It's kind of fun to do a little bit of a.
So you want everything on it except sesame, right? On yours? So we'll do yours first.
Okay.
Okay, so you put that
Oh, I
and
don't
then,
want basil.
no
I'm
basil?
sorry I'm so sensitive to so many things. I really am.
Okay.
What else do we put on it?
I can have a little bit of the almonds, just a little bit.
Okay.
Almonds.
Okay. For that, then red pepper could go on. I'm going to just demo you guys another way to cut open a red pepper or a pepper, okay? Because it's fun to see different ways to do the things. But down the back, and if it's it doesn't have to be a quartered one, but some of them are and then it kind of opens up like a flower. And then I think you just take these pieces off and you hardly have any, look at that.
Oh, wow.
You just have this by itself and a little bit to take out, but it kind of gets it into these 4 nice quadrants here without the seeds.
Nice.
So, all right, that's a fun little tip.
Okay.
Okay.
What else goes on top?
A little bit of that, and then a little bit of green onions. And here I have fresh basil and fresh mint. So I put them together, and I'm just gonna chop a little bit of this. Just leave it off of yours.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
What's this?
It's pickled red onions. No, we don't have to.
No? Okay.
But I would hold that up and let me just say. Oh yeah.
Pickled onions?
Pickled red onions are so easy to do, and you just need a little vinegar in there, and they turn that beautiful bright pink color. And we make them at retreat with a few more ingredients like garlic and black pepper, But basically, they're super, super simple. They are pretty. Maybe we'll put one on the top.
Okay, if anybody wants to try. And then this.
Those are water chestnuts. Yep, a little bit of water chestnut.
About almonds?
Yes, but
Or we're not, is that,
yeah, we'll just
is
avoid
that
the one.
top? Right,
Yep.
okay. So we just
And
want
then sesame seeds too.
no almonds on yours, right?
Okay.
No?
I could have a time.
Just a
I eat
couple?
it. That's a really small one.
Okay, I'll just
I mean,
put
I can eat them still, but I just
Okay.
don't want to eat like all
A lot,
butter
yeah.
because that's like too much.
Is a lot, yeah.
Okay, we're just gonna do a little extra zhuzhing of the salad
And I
dressing.
don't need any extra of the sauce. I'm not big into sauces.
So no extra dressing?
No. I
Okay.
don't want it.
Okay, so I'll. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, excellent. It's really pretty and colorful. Usually we will serve it like in a larger bowl too, and then you can see more of the beautiful ingredients. Okay, so before we go back to the desserts, I'm going to tell you a little bit more about just a quick background of my life and my food life. I started binge eating food probably after my parents got a divorce. Ooh, who would know? And food was my best friend and that comfort level. I have a couple stories around that I usually share. So I'm open about it, but like things like that, just true stuff that's sad, like eating ice cream to pain, like pain in my belly, pain, and not even being able to taste it anymore. Planning our binge sessions, some things like these were not healthy, and I look back on that person and I'm just not that person anymore. And it's taken me a long time to get out of that. And there were two main things that helped. One was, and first let me just say, I was on like a cycle and a wheel of going on these diets. And I would go on these diets and then I would be desperate. I was very much about weight obsessed too. I mean, this was me as a younger person. And I have some pictures of myself too, in that more of a, we can pass these around if anybody wants to see. This is, Melissa can pass this around. And then I would get desperate. I would find a diet and I would make some progress. And then I would call myself, a good girl then at that point, where before I was, lazy, stupid. Why can't I have willpower? Why can't I do this? Why can't I control myself around food? What's wrong with me? And then I would do this diet, do pretty well, but then have a fail. And then just the next day be like, well, might as well just go down that road and eat everything that's not nailed down. So it was just very, I would get desperate again and have to find the next diet. And it was like this circle that I couldn't get off of. And so I really relate to people who struggle with alcohol or struggle with any kind of addictions. It's really hard to get off this wheel. And there's two main things that happened to me. One is there's a person and she came to stay with my then husband and I, and she had what I wanted. This is what she looks like. She was trim, older than me, had all this energy, bouncing around the house and eating this and that. And I was like, what? This is like an alien. Like, how is she doing this? I want what she has. And I asked her if she would help me, and she took me to bookstores, and I thought we were going to get the diet book, but it wasn't. It was, we found books that were about health. And Fit for Life was one of the books that was in that grouping, Diet for a New America. There's some really amazing books that can change your life. And Fit for Life talked about how we shower on the outside to look good, but are you thinking about showering our inside and cleansing your insides? And, really like bathing your cells and your blood. And they kind of got into the nutrition of what you're eating is important. It's so important. And I was blown away. And I had little kids at that time, my two little children. So my mind started to shift from weight to health. And I wanted my health. Another thing that really helped me at that time was going to Overeaters Anonymous. And that really helped me because it's a program of 12 steps that has you turn to God. And you can define God however you want. So that's nice. It was very accepting to all walks of faith. And that is where I started a slow process of a relationship with the divine within all of us. I think we all have it, and like trying to connect more so that I can get that support that I needed. And I didn't realize that God would help me with the food if I was seriously asking for help. And that's really been a lot of my experience in some of the things that I've learned, just crazy stuff, is like where fiber comes from. It's not in any animal products. There's zero fiber in any of that. The only place you get fiber are the plant foods. And where does cholesterol come from? Not in any plant foods. It's all in animal products. So cholesterol, to my understanding, is kind of like a waxy substance. You cannot cut it out. Like if you see a steak on the counter, you can cut out some of the fat, but you can't cut out the cholesterol. It's in the muscle of the animal, as well as the animal's going to naturally have hormones. So I'm just telling you, cutting back on some of those things could help, and it does help. And then I learned about marketing too. Like doctors are marketed to. There's a big poster on my house that says more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette, because the doctors would prescribe cigarettes to their patients in the 50s. This was happening in an average person's lifetime. You're going to eat 15 cows, 12 sheep, 24 hogs, and 900 chickens. This was maybe old information. Is probably higher than that right now. So I made a decision to become a vegetarian in 1998, and I've been enjoying that decision since then. I really, really have. I really can't tell you how much I appreciate being a vegetarian, and part of it is knowing like how similar our anatomy is, really not as much like this person or this guy, but more like the primates, and how the primates are mostly greens and fruits, ripe fruits and greens. And when you look at like the teeth and the pores on the skin and the claws and the tyalin and the saliva and the length of the intestines, we're just much more designed like primates. So there's not a lot of confusion out there in the animal world as to what to eat, but nobody's making money out there either. So I'm going to get back to this. So I recently, 6 months ago, made another decision because I was starting to have some joint pain. And my joint pain was really a concern. And I've been doing this for so long, being in this world of like, when I went vegetarian, I started feeling so much better. I got energy, I lost the weight. I breathed better, my headaches went away. I forgot to tell you all these good things that happened. And so since it changed my life that much, I became a Food for Life instructor with Physicians Committee, and I did like cooking. I've been doing cooking classes since the late 90s or early 2000s. I did a DVD called Change Your Food, Change Your Life. I've been excited, and I've been on that road, and it's been awesome. And I find I easily eat out at restaurants. It's just like everything seems hard until you're on the other side of it, and until you have that practice. And having a friend was very important to me also, to help me along the way, because if you don't have friends who are doing this, you're not going to even want to. It's just probably isolating. But there's a lot of people on YouTube now that you can look at, like so many different videos of people who are eating more plant-based and like are very inspiring and have inspiring stories. And if you want to live long, I just feel like I'm increasing my odds. So back to my joint pain, I started having that joint pain and I got frozen shoulder, then I got it in the other shoulder. And I was like, oh, what is happening? I became a yoga instructor, and like 2 years later, I wasn't able to do some of the poses that I was comfortably able to do at first, and that was bothersome. And so I made two friends that were eating even higher in the fruits and vegetables, okay? And they were eating all fruits and vegetables, pretty much like what people call just a raw foods diet. Now, I am not ready to go there, but there are people there. You can watch them on YouTube, and that's like next level. But what I decided in January was to do raw until 4. So I eat. In the morning, I have a juicy melon, usually a honeydew, cantaloupe, watermelon, oranges. I'm talking like the half of the melon, or even sometimes the whole melon, depending on how hungry. Yes?
Question. Can you find, because I know these seedless watermelons and seedless melons aren't that good for us.
Right.
So you're finding seeded melons to eat, or do you eat?
I look for when they say seeded, and I try to buy the seeded ones. Yeah, but I figure it's better just to eat what's available than worry too much about it. What I have noted with the fruit, the higher fruit intake, is that my sugar cravings are way down, way down. I feel very much hydrated, like more hydrated. I think there's so much, if you look at your fruit, when it's ripe and juicy and delicious, I mean, there's so much natural water in there, and it's, made by the sun and the soil and the plants and all this. It's like, it's amazing. I think there's something about the fruits because I feel better since I've been doing this. So I'll have sometimes a smoothie, which is why I have the coconut water out to just talk to you about my smoothie routine. I make smoothie one day and then we drink it the leftovers the next day. So I only have to make a smoothie every other day. And my husband and I are on that habit plan. I sometimes put sprouts in my smoothies. Sprouts are something I really highly recommend everybody consider doing because it's the easiest thing ever. And these things they are packed with nutrition. There's so much nutrition here. Doug Evans, who wrote the Sprout book, said something like, well, I wish I remember more of his quotes, but they find seeds that are 2,000 years old, add water, and they grow. I mean, this is like how all life starts, is with the seed. And so all you do is put like a tablespoon in the bottom of this, and I got these lids here at Country Life. I love these lids. They go on mason jars, but these jars came with this little system on Amazon. So anyway, you put the alfalfa sprouts at the bottom, add water, and then let it sit like this for overnight, 12 hours. That's all you do. In the morning, you dump out the water and lay it like this. That's it. Twice a day, and this is what happens. This is like, I already ate some of this. And this is so it was like more full. You get a lot for your money. It's a bang for the buck. It's good energy. And you can add it to wraps. You can add it to salads, but I also like to add it to our smoothies. Banana and ice cream. You can't even know how good life is until you have banana and ice cream. It's soft serve, it's cold and sweet and delicious, and it's made of frozen bananas. So I could talk a little bit more about that. You just need a food processor, or there's other equipment things you can use for that. So anyway, that's pretty much how my days go. I try to have either a salad then or some cut up veggies, and then I'm like, I get it in. I'm forcing myself to get it done. If that's too much for you to think about, just maybe try to do some of what I'm saying. Like, I would recommend finding people on YouTube who can encourage you, because when you're doing chores around the house, if you want to be putting into your mind these things. And, I think my skin is improved. My nails are stronger. I have more bowel movements, which is like, whoa, what is it seems like something has shifted and is changing, and I'm grateful, and I wish I knew it earlier. So the young people here, you guys, if there's any way you can get those fruits and vegetables and make yourself get those in, and just make it a habit, whatever you can do, it's amazing. Yes?
I forgot, how long did you say you've been doing the vegetarian thing?
1998.
Oh, long time.
Long time, yes. So any questions around that? I can tell you that the process I went through to become a vegetarian was similar to the process I mentally went through in January. And so I know it took me a little time. It took me almost 2 years, actually, of prep work mentally to think about this stuff and to think, could I do this? Do I even want to do this? I don't think I can do this. Like a lot of stuff. And now that I'm doing things like that feel good and simple, and I feel better, and it's not hard, I'm like, wow, it's too bad it takes people so long to like maybe make these choices that can improve our odds, because ultimately we're trying to improve our odds. And it could be a beauty hack too. I don't know. I'm still kind of like trying to think. So I think that the support is important, and we're really creatures of community. And that was my number one thing. And I think that's the number one thing that holds people back from making these like sort of harder decisions of making a sacrifice for your taste buds. Has both times, well, more than the 2 times, because then I went like more vegan and like more stricter. But both of the times where I made this stricter choice, the blessings were bigger. The blessings were more. So maybe less is more, maybe less choice is okay. And we could tell ourselves, no, we could put some parameters. Maybe you save meat for less than every single night or every single day. Maybe you find your nights where you're committed to doing a plant-based dinner, or, you're committed to trying to have, grapefruits in the morning, or whatever your favorite fruits are, mix it up, test. I like to treat myself with a lot of love. And this is a part I've learned over the years. It's so important, is I wasn't treating myself with love in my head. I was a bad girl. I was stupid. I was like, why wasn't I able? this girl here, I mean, I cry for thinking of sometimes how I mentally was talking to myself. I didn't even realize I was doing it. And now I just say, this is a fun, playful game. I get to be alive today, and I get to want to feel good, and I get to experiment with all this abundant, beautiful food that God made for us. There's a lot of choices out there. It seems narrow though in the beginning, and sometimes you're like, what? I can't even. Not that I can't have this or that or this or that. And sometimes you're just going to. But my walk with God has helped me get here, and I wish I could just kind of help people more to do a 3-day experiment. You know what I mean? Start with something little, something you can tackle, decide something that you want to test, and then just act like a little happy scientist over yourself. Like, okay, well, I ate that chips that I didn't intend to. What was happening during that time mentally? Was I emotionally? Was I sad? Was I tired? Was I with friends? Was it a social thing? And then just kind of take note and be a little, like maybe journal. I notice a lot of people tell me they're eating healthy, but I don't really think people are aware and honest with what they are putting into their body temple. And so that's another thing is, I'm getting into some deep stuff here, but it's been my experience, and I just want to help people. And yeah, these mixes are also nice. I'm just going back to the ranch seasoning in particular. Ranch seasoning, I use this one a lot. At the retreat, we have recipes for seasoning mixes, and you can definitely make these on your own. But if you want a time saver, I just want to tell you, like, one of my favorite dressings besides this peanut dressing is a tahini-based dressing, which, well, not for you, because that's a sesame seed-based, that's tahini. Tahini-based is one, or also cashews, if you can eat cashews. I do cashews in the blender with some of this and some lemon juice, and it's delicious. And maybe like there's dill in here, but sometimes I add a little extra more dill. And then there's a carrot ginger dressing I make that you could have totally. I make up a dressing, and then I'll put them in these little jars, and then I go to the restaurant with my jar. And this is a habit, okay? And at first I'm like, oh, people are gonna think I'm crazy. Oh, my husband, he's gonna be annoyed with me. God bless you. But you know what? I'm protecting my health. Like, now I'm like, gosh, I have a right to protect my health and like eat what I want and not have those oily dressings at the restaurants. That's where the restaurants really don't care about us, nor do the food companies. I mean, let's just be honest. They just want our money. I mean, not everybody, but I'm just, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a business. A lot of it's a business out there. So I want you guys to protect yourself as best as possible from, just like debilitation later in life, let's say. All right, we're going to get to the last recipe here, so you can have it. And that is going to be the blueberry compote. So just get some organic blueberries. I am going to just talk about this because I'm not going to cook it in front of you. But let me just tell you, I made this recipe, and so we have the finished product. And you put the blueberries in the pot, put it on kind of high heat, put in your pure maple syrup and your little bit of lemon juice and a dash of salt, and you start stirring it. 1 minute later, all these blueberries are going to turn like a different color, okay? They're going to be like more black looking. 1 minute, that's it. Then after 1 minute, if you have one of these potato mashers, mashed potatoes, you just use this, and 3 minutes later, you're done. And you have this beautiful blueberry compote that can be a topping for so many delicious things. And we're going to top it with our chia pudding, and it gets thick on its own. Just the pectin from the fruit comes out, and it gets thick. I wanted to show you, I made a video showing you, but it's on my phone, which is right there. But like, you can start to, when you stir it, you'll start to see the bottom of the pot because it starts to get a little bit thick. So that's what'll happen, and it's just so quick. Sometimes I want to time things because I think people think spending time in the kitchen, first of all, I encourage everybody to spend more time in the kitchen because this is your health, and what you put in your body is so important. And yeah, think of it like, how can you make it more fun? Can you turn on music? Can you listen to your favorite show or a podcast? And you don't have to be variety. You can just find some healthy recipes and just build on that. But everybody should have some sweet things ready to go. So that's why I encourage you to go home and make this if you like it, and then put these in like 5 little jars or whatever, you know what I'm saying, and top it. And then when you're little sweet tooth, you grab it. Dates are amazing. If you haven't experimented with dates, I promise you, I love them. And we make like balls with them and put them in the freezer. Little Snicker candies if you haven't. So all at our retreat, we show you how to do all this. And so I encourage everybody to try to come to a retreat because your health is important, and we take care of everybody, and we have a good time, and it doesn't matter wherever you are in life along your healthy path. Yes, thank you. All right. Thank you. This is the one that's done. All right, does anybody have any questions? Yes.
I wanted to mention, years ago before my husband, I was on the Pritikin diet plan. Do you remember Pritikin?
Oh, sure, yes.
But I didn't follow it very well. And
You could put a little bit of this one too if you want to, just to
And
have
I
both.
would also have like junk along with it.
Yeah,
And when you do that, it doesn't do the same thing.
no, right.
But then years later, I did George Malcolm's with the
Wow,
juicing and,
yeah,
but then again, I added junk to it.
yeah.
And then this last time, I went all fruits and vegetables, just a little bit of meat, and I lost weight, and I felt really, really good. So
Yes.
it does make a difference what you eat with it.
Yes. Yeah, it sure does. And I wish I had this, like, I love your process. And that's been my process too, okay? It's 2 steps forward, 1 step back, my whole life. So don't feel like you're going to get to be 0 to 100 tomorrow, but don't give up. You know, progress, not perfection. Don't ever give up. And pain is sometimes a great motivator, but do you really, you know, both times I was in pain. Kathy made her life decision because she had an accident and she was taken out of the game. She had to be like kind of in a very, she couldn't do anything like for weeks, you know what I'm saying? So she had no distraction. She couldn't watch TV, she couldn't read, and she couldn't really move around too much for a while, like 2 weeks. So because of that, like we were both, you know, you're able to like pray more in your head, like, how can I do this? Or, you know, think more. You get the time. And either pain's going to help get you maybe to where you figure out some hacks that you can do, or lack of distraction. I think that very, very important is to prep your next meal. So if you are, you know, going back to a healthy plan, when I was starting in January, I got these glass Pyrex containers with lids. They're really nice. They're pretty deep because I'm a volume eater. I eat a lot. You wouldn't know that, but I eat tons. And I love potatoes are the biggest weight loss hack. It's just what we put on them. So sweet potatoes, regular potatoes, mashed, like you can do all the potatoes. You can eat French fries every day in the oven without the oil, and you'll lose weight. Like I promise you, there's a guy who lived on potatoes for a whole year and lost hundreds of pounds. Like his name is Andrew Spudfit Taylor, and you can look him up. And that's why I say, Google what you're interested. You know, Google all this like whole food plant based or raw till 4 or you know just more of the fruits and vegetables. There's some channels out there that are excellent and have a lot of different people. And we really like Dr. Brooke Goldner. Dr. Brooke Goldner was diagnosed with lupus, and at 16 years old, they told her she wasn't going to live, she wasn't going to have kids, and now she's in her 40s, I believe, and she had kids, and her husband is also in the field of nutrition, and they have a smoothie protocol that heals people. So people who eat their smoothie, they pack the smoothies in with a lot of greens, and then they put the fruit, and it works. So thank you, Melissa, for doing all that. Another thing we hear at retreat that's just, I'm giving you some of the stuff I hear because it's common and you're normal. If you struggle, it's normal. I struggled, you know, and look at the environment we're in. It's crazy. The temptations are just everywhere. But I started looking at a lot of those things as poison. So I will just practice, now I just don't, like, if it's like a ding dong, I'm sorry, but that's just, there's some things there's some things that are just, that I ate. I had my share. Let's just put it that way too. I had my share. But people have a problem with eating late at night too. That's been a common theme at our retreats. And so I don't have the answers for that exactly. I have used tea at night to help me. I've heard people say knitting helps, like coming up with some kind of hobby where your hands are involved. One of our guests told me, I listened to the podcast. It was 2 hours long. They explained about how important it is for your body to have that break of digestion. You don't want to eat late at night. You can't do it. I'm like, okay. And I listened and I was like, yeah. All right, I'm gonna do that. So you can be the boss of your life, be the boss, be the CEO, but be loving, because you're gonna see yourself. Yeah.
So figs are really good. If you have a sugar craving, have a fig and it takes it away.
I'm a big fan of figs. Oh man, when they come out with those Black Mission fresh figs, but the dried figs are excellent. And the dates, it's a similar thing where the dates and the figs they satisfy the sweet tooth, but then you don't want to eat like the whole bag. I don't know how it works. It's amazing. Oh, you do? Another thing one of our guests told us about eating late at night is she has a water pick. And I bought one of those too, where it's like a thing they kind of use at the dentist office, but you can buy them. And it like sprays the water out into your mouth. Like you have to keep your mouth closed and it sprays the water. And I put a little bit of mouthwash in there. So it's like a minty flavor. So she's like, after I have my dinner, I brush my teeth, I use my water pick, and then like, I don't want to do that again. I floss. So that's her trick. So giving you some of the tricks we've heard that people use to, what another person says, be out of the house, just find more things to do outside of the house that don't involve food, that a hobby, or this gal was a musician, so she was playing more. She decided to take on more band opportunities. And think about simplicity also. I think sometimes it seems so complicated, and for some people who are new to cooking or new to, that's why I kind of like raw till 4 too. It's simplified my life even more. Like, wow, I just eat melon. Like honeydew is my number one favorite thing to eat probably in the morning. And then I'll have the smoothie, but I only make it every other day. And it's a routine now, so it's gotten pretty simple. One of the questions that I started to ask myself was, what in my life is more important than the way food tastes? Because you gotta think about that. At least I did. And for a while there, I wasn't really coming up with a lot. Because I would be like, people love food, and it does things in our brain, especially with these companies that know how to get our bliss point. They research, they put the proper amount of fat, salt, and sugar in everything just to get us addicted to these things. And let's not be the victim of all that. I don't want to be the victim. What's that?
MSG.
So many,
Put that in everything.
the red number 40 or the thing. I just saw a list of all these European countries who takes our Fruit Loops, but the Fruit Loops narrowed down. They don't have all the stuff that they put in here. All these things, Ritz crackers in our country. Why are they doing that in our country? You know what? I'm not going to solve the political problems out there or the FDA issues, right? But I want to take more charge of my own life and what I can control. There's a lot of our things out of our control, but what I put in my body, which wasn't in my control back in the day here, it wasn't. But now I'm starting to be more like, yeah, I can control what I put in my body. And I'm like, woo. And it feels good. It feels good, but I didn't get here overnight. I think one of the big hacks also is use your divine connection. Don't forget you have it and it's there for you. And that's a very personal thing. So I can only say gratitude. I try to be more in gratitude, and that's kind of like helpful, developing the attitude of gratitude, but also asking for help. Like those are the two things I come back to. I've gotten on my knees before and said, let me enjoy the people here and not the brownies, okay? Let me just, and I meant it, and then I went out into the party and enjoyed the people and the conversation, and my mind wasn't obsessed with what was on the table. And that's what I want my life to be about, not about that dang fat, sugar, salt. That's another book that's very helpful. I think I don't know if you heard of it, Sugar, Fat, Salt, whatever. Because they do talk about how they make perfumes too with the same way they flavor the foods. Like they use these intense chemicals for our smell to be. I've also lately been using the hack of smelling things. Like I can smell something and then not eat it and feel like I had it. Like it's a weird thing, but I think that's something. Visualize the person that you want to be and start acting like that person. Especially you young people here too. You could just be like, you want to be the boss lady over your lives, you know. Just try to identify people out in the world that are like that lady. For me, she was like, I want what she has, you know. What is she doing? I want to know her secrets. And then I'm going to just, you know, try to start acting like she would. No judgment if I mess up. Let's just see if, like, why I did that. Where can I get support from? I hope you all consider coming to one of our retreats because they are life-changing for a lot of people. And some people just like to come and be spoiled with good, healthy food. So whatever. We have the list of the dates on your sheet. And if there's any other questions, I'm happy to take them. Otherwise, well, yeah.
I think it's important not to get overly hungry because then we're susceptible to whatever.
Yes.
You know, so we got to think ahead of time, even if it's simple things.
Yes. Going back to the prepare your next meal now. Like, yeah, the more you have food ready to go and that you fill up, that's so important. So important. And the like rice and beans, very filling. My dinners are even just more simple now. I've loved doing all the culinary things I've done over the years, but you know what? It doesn't have to be complicated. It could be very simple. And with seasoning blends like these, like this tofu scramble too, we make tofu scramble at our retreats. You could just get one of those block of tofu, mash it up, put that seasoning in there, add some veggies, boom. And it's filling and delicious. There's a lot of good ideas. So if any other questions, I would call it in. Yes.
So you talk about being hungry a lot. So do you have problems with being hungry a lot, or are you just talking, you know, like, oh, don't eat at night? And if you know, like, do you have that? Do you struggle with not eating at night? Do you struggle?
I struggle with coffee. I still like my coffee, and I know that's a stimulant, and I prefer to. But anyway, I still have some things. I'm not, you know, not perfect, but I'm never hardly hungry because I love food. And I love to eat. And I eat a lot. So just the other night, I had 4 tacos, veggie tacos, with the guac and the beans and the rice and the cilantro and the onions and 2 corn tortillas each. And unfortunately, a little bit of oil because it's at the restaurant. But I ate, you know, that's kind of like I eat a lot. So I don't struggle with being hungry, no. I'm saying to everyone else, don't let you, like this young lady here said, don't allow yourself to get too hungry. Have the next healthy meal in mind if you can. Try to make a plan. If you were on a job, you all worked, I'm assuming, or will work, and you have to make plans. You have to-do lists. You have to work a job. Well, look at your health and your food as somewhat of something that you can put a little more effort into. You know, like you could plan ahead, and you'll reap the rewards. You will be amazed if you can get past some of the hurdles. Feel free to call me or text me. I'm here for all of you. I believe in I'm very passionate, you can see, and I want to support everybody wherever you're at. So.
Do you do any supplementing or parasite cleaning?
I love that question, but I don't feel qualified to answer. Like, I just don't know enough about it. I'm a nice multivitamin is all I'm taking right now, just basic. I've been on more supplements and I don't like taking them. Like, I just have a thing about like, I hate to swallow those. I'd rather eat food. Why can't I just eat food? You know, so I'm a little more on the side of being excited about what this stuff does. And like, I feel like there's you get the greens in my smoothie. I feel like I'm getting more of what I need now. So I don't have fear around not getting enough of something. Yeah. Yes?
With eating the plants and things, you probably have a whole lot less to deal with like parasitic infections or
Right.
anything like that, because the meat has the
Right.
tapeworm and
Yes.
different things in the meat.
Yes. Yes.
Do you do anything with fasting too?
I did 13 days of juice only. So that was like kind of a fasting time for me. Not sure that that's necessary, but I do know it helps a lot of people because it does reset your taste buds. And it was very freeing at the time because I spent about 2 hours every morning. My husband can attest. I did 8 quarts of, or whatever they were, like 8 of these, and I drank 8 of these a day. And didn't have to think about, you had to get your calories though. Like, so the juice, so it was kind of like I was always drinking. And but it felt good. And I also wanted to mention this. There's a gal on Instagram. She's probably on Facebook, and her name is Olivia Herzog, and she once ate bananas only for 60 days and cleared a parasite, like a deadly parasite, she said. Now, I don't know the details of like if she knew it was in there or like what. But she talks about it, and she's eating more like in this manner. So like she's another person like you can consider how she lives a little different than the rest of the world, but she's got beautiful children. Yes.
I think in the Bible where Jesus said this kind goeth not out but by prayer and fasting. It's talking about a demon, but I think a lot of other things can come from that too, prayer and fasting. But, just a thought.
Yeah.
Go out there, but.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Jill.
Thank you. Thanks for coming. I'll be around if anybody wants to come up and privately ask anything. Thank you so much.